Today we're going to be looking at direct objects and indirect objects. If you'd like to fast forward to the indirect objects part of this presentation, go ahead and do so. It should be right around halfway. First thing we have to do is talk about what direct objects are. Direct objects receive the action of the verb in the sentence. They answer the questions who or what receives the action of the verb. The direct object can be either a person or a thing. For example, when we talk about the sentence, I see the teacher. By asking the question, who do I see, we get our answer, the teacher. The teacher is therefore the direct object of the sentence. I am the subject, seeing is the verb, and the teacher is the direct object, someone who's directly being affected by the verb. I have the homework. What do I have? The answer, of course, is the homework, meaning that it's going to be the direct object of the sentence as well. If you go through the examples in your notes, you'll see that the verbs being confirms, I am calling, understand, prefer, and you check are all the verbs of this sentence, while the bolded and underlined his flight, travel agency, Spanish, black luggage, and your luggage are the direct objects. What does Miguel confirm? The flight. Who am I calling? The travel agency. What do they understand? Spanish. What do we prefer? Black luggage. And what did you check? Your luggage. And that's how we're going to find what is our direct object in the sentence. You can see in English the direct object is always after the verb, meaning the bolded, underlined part of the sentence comes always after the circle. The same thing is going to be true in Spanish. You can see all these same sentences translated into Spanish. The direct object comes after the verb. We're not going to be dealing with direct objects, but rather direct object pronouns, and we'll talk about what that means in just a moment. Direct object pronouns are as follows: me, te, lo, la, nos, os, los, or las. When we talk about direct object pronouns, obviously a pronoun replaces a noun. So for example, in the previous sentence, I see the teacher, if we wanted to replace the word teacher with one of these following pronouns, and we'd have to figure out how to choose the right one, we're changing the sentence to saying I see her or I see him. If Miguel is confirming his flight, we don't always have to say his flight. We can say Miguel confirms it, which is what we're going to be working on right now. The practice in your notes will show you how to choose which of the direct objects that you're going to substitute for. For example, las bananas is a feminine plural noun, so we're going to use las. El equipaje is lo. Las maletas, las. Los calcetines, los. El traje de baño, lo. La tarjeta de embarque, la. El sándwich y el agua, because there's multiple objects, we're going to say los. Los boletos is los. El cuaderno is lo. And la blusa y los tenis, again, multiple objects being one masculine makes it los. As we talked about before, the direct object noun is placed after the conjugated verb. For example, yo quiero la camisa azul, where we're saying I want the blue shirt. The blue shirt comes after the I want. However, the direct object pronoun is going to be placed before the conjugated verb. We take the word la camisa, and as we practiced just before, we change it to la, we shorten it down, and we place it before the quiero and after the subject. So yo quiero la camisa azul becomes yo la quiero. In other words, I want the blue shirt becomes I want it. The practice in your notes will show you how to shorten sound some of those words. For example, mi madre tiene el itinerario. My mother has the itinerary. We want to shorten it to say my mom has it, lo tiene, or mi madre lo tiene. Yo tengo los boletos. I have the tickets. If we want to just say I have them, los tengo. Tú llevas una blusa bonita. You are wearing it, la llevas. Mi profesor cierra la ventana. La cierra, he closes it. Marta y Simón visitan la oficina de turismo. They visit it, la visitan. But we also have to worry about if the verb is not conjugated. For example, when an infinitive follows a conjugated verb, the direct object pronoun can be placed before the conjugated verb, or you can attach it to the infinitive. For example, I want to buy the shoes. We have an unconjugated comprar, so changing it to I want to buy them, the them or the los can go before the conjugated quiero, yo los quiero comprar, or we can attach it to the infinitive comprar, yo quiero comprarlos. Other examples in your packets that you'll see: María prefiere hacer las maletas, prefiere hacerlas, or las prefiere hacer. Sofía y Juan quieren leer los libros. Sophia and Juan want to read the books, they want to read them. Quieren leerlos, or los quieren leer. Yo quiero tomar un taxi, I want to take it. Quiero tomarlo, or lo quiero tomar. Before we continue on to direct or indirect objects, note that putting the direct object pronoun before the conjugated verb or attaching it either is completely correct. Sticking with one is going to be in your best interest, so you want to make sure you stick with it there. Indirect objects, on the other hand, answer the question for whom or to whom the action is being done. So Rose gives her a ticket. What does Rose give? A ticket. That's going to be our direct object. Who does she give it to? She gives it to her. So the her in that sentence is going to be the indirect object. Again, you can see that the indirect objects tend to fall at the end of the sentence. So what does the agent sell? The tickets. Who do they sell it? Who does he sell it to? Us. Who do I give the itinerary to? My parents. What does my brother give? The luggage. Who does he give it to? My sister. Who do we talk to? The travel agent. What do the students ask? A question. Who do they ask it to? The teacher. And then you can see as those questions are translated into Spanish, we're going to see a common theme, the a nosotros, a mis padres, a mi hermana, al agente de viajes, y al maestro. They're all going to start with the letter A, or the a, which means to. Here are the indirect object pronouns. As opposed to me, te, lo, la, nos, os, los, las, you're going to see that it's me, te, le, nos, os, les. If these look familiar, they should. This is what we use when we work with the verb gustar. Me gusta, te gusta, le gusta, nos gusta, os gusta, les gusta. For example, when we say, I like books, we're not actually saying I like books, me gustan los libros. We're saying the books are pleasing to us. The important thing to know that aside from the direct objects, where they replace, indirect objects repeat or replace indirect object or nouns. For example, Mamá les da dinero a Juan y a Ana. You can see that the les and the a Juan y Ana serve the same function in the sentence. What it generally is saying is, Mom gives money to them, to Juan and Ana. You can see it's kind of redundant there. We can also take out the a Juan y Ana and just put Mamá les da dinero, or Mom gives them money. The reason that sometimes it's important to put a Juan y Ana is because we wouldn't know who them is when we say Mom gives money or gives them money. The same way, if we said le gusta jugar al fútbol, we don't know if we're saying he likes to play soccer, she likes to play soccer, or you, formal usted, likes to play soccer. As before, we're going to figure out how to replace indirect objects in a sentence. Anytime you see an a mí, it's me, which is why we have a mí me gusta, a usted le, a las chicas les, a ti te, a mí y a él nos. To me and to him is basically saying to us, nos. A ustedes is going to be les, al niño le, a vosotros os, a Paco y a ti les or os would be fine, and a la clase is going to be le. Just like direct object pronouns, or indirect object pronouns are placed before conjugated verbs. Yo le doy mi pasaporte, and the a la gente is optional, but it would reinforce who the le is referring to. The answers in your notes. Los pasajeros les hablan a los auxiliares de vuelo. You can see after the letter A or the word a, los auxiliares de vuelo is going to refer to les, and we place it before the hablan. Un señor le quiere dar un refresco a su esposo. The indirect object in this sentence, a man wants to give a soft drink to his spouse, is going to be his spouse, and that's why it's going to be le. A passenger asks the time to the flight attendant. What does he ask? The time. And who does he ask it to? The flight attendant. So the flight attendant is going to be the indirect object in the sentence, le. The flight attendant tells or says words to me and my sister is going to be nos, because it's me and my sister. The passengers give the boarding tickets to the woman. The woman is the indirect object. She is receiving the tickets, so she is a le. Mamá te quiere hablar a ti. Mom wants to talk to you. You are going to be spoken to. And then me hablas tú a mí. Are you talking to me? You can see the a mí and the a ti correspond to me and te. More answers to your notes are as follows. Les da, le paga, nos dan, te doy, le damos. Where we can see at the end of the sentence, a mis padres, a la gente de viajes, a mí y a mi hermana, y a ti, and al auxiliar de vuelo point to what our direct object is going to be. Again, what if the verb is not conjugated? The same rules apply. It should sound very familiar. You can put it before the conjugated verb or attach it. So if I wanted to sell my car to Sara, and we can see an unconjugated vender, we can say le voy a vender mi coche a Sara, or voy a venderle mi coche a Sara, where the le can go before the voy or attached to the vender. Finally, some examples of that. If my parents are going to give me a car, what are they giving? A car, a direct object. Who are they giving it to? Me. You can say, mis padres me van a dar, or van a darme. I want to talk to my teacher. Quiero hablarle, or le quiero hablar. And finally, mi compañero me necesita dar, or necesita darme. Either way, you're going to stick with that me.